Open Health Desk presented to you by Mount Sinai. I'm your host, Shauna Ryan, and joining us today is Dr. Melissa Leber. She's the Director of Sports Medicine at Mount Sinai Health System. Doctor, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, replenishing fluids, it is a key component to your health and also production on the court. So today I want to talk about key ways that we can stay hydrated, especially when it's really hot outside, something we're used to here at the US Open out here in Queens. Do you have any general rules of thumb when it comes to hydration in general?
Yeah, so initially the amount of hydration should actually happen the day before the match. So you don't want to just hydrate the day of the match, though that is important. Really, the majority of hydration should happen before. The other rule is that you can actually measure your pre-match body weight and your post-match body weight, and if you lose too much weight, it'll actually degrade your performance. So as a general rule of thumb, a 150-pound athlete, if they lose 3 pounds during their match, that actually can degrade their performance.
3 pounds, you can lose up to 3 pounds in water.
Yeah, so elite athletes measure their body weight before and after a match, so you have to make sure that you're hydrating enough to make up for your losses.
Sounds like you have a lot of planning involved with this. Hydration before, checking yourself afterwards. It's a real deal here. It takes a lot of work.
Absolutely.
The intensity can really vary, whether it be a general workout or it be playing in a match. Do you have any recommendations based on those two?
Yeah, so if you're just playing for 30 minutes, you're just doing some drills or going out to hit for a little bit, water is okay and that is sufficient, but it really depends on how much you're going to be working out.
And what do you define as rigorous activity? What do you consider to be rigorous that would require maybe a different amount of hydration?
Yeah, so certainly if you're playing a match, best of 3 sets, best of 5 sets, any of that's very rigorous activity. If you're going to hit for a couple hours outside and take lessons or hit drills, and the other thing is if it's extremely, extremely warm out, you have to hydrate more intensely. So for more rigorous activity, you really need to have a 2 to 3 ratio of sports drinks to water. So for every 2 sports drinks, you should have 3 bottles of water, 16-ounce bottles of water. And so you want to make sure that you're sticking to that.
And when you mention sports drinks, should we be looking for something specific in a sports drink that you recommend that's really beneficial?
The best hydration and absorption of water comes when you have a sports drink that's 6 to 8% carbohydrate percentage. So if you look at the ingredients, make sure it has that percentage of carbohydrate in it. And the other thing I should mention is that for every sports drink you have and for every bottle of water you have, when it's really, really hot and you're doing rigorous activity, you should have half packet of salt to make it up for your electrolyte losses.
It's funny because sometimes I have people who will make their own natural energy drinks and they'll put lime and salt in, which sounds crazy to me. It sounds counterproductive, but this is actually really helpful for your body to retain water.
Totally right. Just like a marathon runner would have a salt packet during their race, a tennis player who's out in the heat or playing for a long time should replete their electrolytes with salt.
Any kind of fluids that might be beneficial beyond sports drinks or snacks even that one can eat to help their performance beforehand?
Absolutely. So before a match or before any intense play, to have your best performance, it's good to have a little bit of protein and a little bit of carbohydrate. So for example, cereal with milk or a half turkey sandwich or a little bit of yogurt with granola can be good before a match. And as far as drinks, maybe a little chocolate milk because it has some protein in it, but it's not as good as one of the snacks that I just mentioned.
So chocolate milk, I've heard this before. That is not a joke. That is not just kids play. That can actually be beneficial.
It can be beneficial. It doesn't have as much protein as some of the snacks that I mentioned, but yes, it can be beneficial.
Thank you so very much. We so appreciate you coming by, helping us stay hydrated for all of our great tennis play.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And don't forget, you can check out usopen.org throughout the entire tournament for more tips from the staff from Mount Sinai. Until next time, I'm your host, Shauna Ryan. We'll see you right here at the US Open Health Desk, presented to you by Mount Sinai.